Hi friends, Wade Baldwin from Freedom Echo here, and I wanted to talk a few minutes about the brain. How do we expect to get what we want and get accomplished what we need, and most importantly, focus on what we want to improve if our brain is out of sorts? And out of sorts can mean a lot of different things, obviously, and so how many things can impact and affect our brain? First, better state for the record, I am not a licensed doctor or physician. I have medical professions that take care of me, and I recommend that everyone has dedicated specialists to attend to their health needs as well. But I like to think of the brain as a biocomputer. Sure, it's a computer that has obviously immense power to process a ton of information. I think, it helps us think logically, handle and deal with our emotions, sometimes well, sometimes not, but it's also an organ, meaning it needs nutrients. It needs more than just electricity to function properly. So energy from healthy food. Obviously, we want to try and feed our brain healthy vitamins, nutrients, etc. I don't know if anyone else has experienced the McDonald's coma. I certainly have, and I don't know, especially late in the afternoon. It doesn't have to be McDonald's, but fast food, whatever, right? I'm not knocking on McDonald's by any means, but you're sluggish, you're drained, you're in a cognitive fog. Certainly a clue that our bodies and our brain needs healthy food to function at its best. And then, of course, programming, being in a computer, an operating system. What we learn, what we see, what we hear, and surround ourselves with, right? So trauma, negativity, anger, complaining, yelling, constant state of stress. Have you ever been around those people that just are draining because they're always in a negative mood, constant complaining? We need to protect ourselves from bad input. Obviously, if there's anything certainly traumatic that you've experienced, please seek out the professional help that you need. And now the two most important, I think, are blood and oxygen. We've all heard the term brain dead, and what that means, when someone's brain is in this state, it's usually because they've been starved of either blood or oxygen or even both for too long. So it's obviously it points out how incredibly important these two things are for proper brain flow. Breathing. Anyone else have a habit of taking shallow, short breaths? It's usually from being in a constant state of stress, and if you're in that state long enough, obviously that becomes a habit. So breathing deeply, getting the proper amount of oxygen to our brains. A couple of things that I can certainly recommend: deep breathing exercises. I don't know if you've heard the 4-second blocks. I can do another video about that. It's a very easy exercise. Then, of course, yoga. Both of those really focus on concentrating and getting attention and close to your breath, so you're feeding your brain, the rest of your body and your cells, the proper amount of oxygen. And of course, blood. Just about a year ago today, I was getting out of surgery from getting 2 discs replaced in my neck. I definitely know what it's like to go through life with serious neck pain, jolting electric blasts that would, if I moved my neck the wrong way, I would just drop to the floor. And oh man, just thinking back to that brings back poor memories. But if nerves or blood vessels are compressed, then obviously you're not getting the proper amount of flow. I had a number of things compressed because of poor neck structure and failing discs in my neck. What were the results? Well, I'll tell you, I didn't realize how much of a fog I was in from brain cognitive function until after I got my surgery. Now, obviously, I'm a big fan of disc replacement, But I definitely recommend certainly taking adequate steps and trying everything you can. You know, if you've got the option to do physical therapy and other exercises that you can do to avoid surgery. But you know, if you're experiencing any fogginess, cognitive function challenges, numbness, tingling, see a medical professional as soon as possible. If you want to see just how well the nerves and blood flow is going from your neck and along your spine, see a chiropractor. And before you balk, I know there's a lot of stigma out there. I've been seeing a chiropractor for about over 20 years now, not the same one. They're like mechanics, right? Sometimes you're never going to go back to the same one, and sometimes you find those really good ones that give you everything you need. And I'm not going to go into detail there. That's another video, more than a 2-second bit, but definitely see one that will do a nerve function test. But I wanted to give you a tip that can help, because the tension steals blood away from your brain. It sends it to your tense muscles. And there's a really easy way that while we're sitting at a desk that you can work those out with a little ball back here, especially behind the shoulder blades. If you can ease your body's stress, it will help not only with blood flow, but it will also help from a breathing perspective. Helps you relax, just gets you in a better state of mind and overall mental state of health. But you just roll your tense muscles on there, and you can do it while you're sitting in a chair, and hey, it'll help you with your posture as well, potentially. So you just find the knot, roll it around, but the most important thing is you can never get muscles to relax properly unless you're breathing. So while you hit those tender spots sometimes, make sure you breathe through it, otherwise it's just going to hold there nice and firm. And found some, you know, if you have a soft bed like me, something like this is just going to sit in the cushion, right, and or the mattress, excuse me, and not do a whole lot. So if you need to step it up, grab a softball. It's a little bit uncomfortable when you're in a chair because it's a bit big, but works great when you're laying down if that suits your fancy. So anyways, thank you for watching. Wade Baldwin from Freedom Echo. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on your notifications.